Okay, this book is called Roslyn, Rutabaga, and the Biggest Hole on Earth. It's by Marie-Louise Gay. She wrote the words, and she also did the illustrations. Roslyn, Rutabaga, and the Biggest Hole on Earth. There's Earth. There's a hole. Roslyn Rutabaga woke up with a plan today. She would dig the biggest hole on Earth. Not a tiny mouse-sized hole, not a medium-sized rabbit hole, the biggest hole on Earth. Maybe she would dig right down to the center of the world. Maybe she would find a pirate's treasure. Who knows? Anything could happen. Look how fast she jumped out of those pajamas. There she is. Roslyn thumped, 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 thumped downstairs to breakfast. "What are you going to do today, Roslyn?" asked her father. Roslyn munched loudly on her carrot flakes. "I'm going to dig the biggest hole on Earth," she announced. "Well, that sounds like a good idea," said her father. "I might dig all the way to China," she said, or even the South Pole. "I'd really like to meet a penguin." "You'd better take a sweater," said her father. "It gets pretty cold at the South Pole." "Will you be back in time for lunch?" called her father. "Of course," answered Roslyn as she ran outside. Roslyn looked around for the perfect spot to dig the biggest hole on Earth. Not too rocky, not too near the oak tree, definitely not in her father's prize-winning carrot patch. Aha! thought Roslyn. Right here in the middle of the lawn. She started to dig. "Whoa there! What do you think you're doing?" yelled a worm. I'm digging the biggest hole on Earth," answered Roslyn. "Oh, this is my front yard!" shouted the worm. "You can't dig your big old hole here, you silly rabbit." Roslyn blushed. "Oh, I'm sorry," she said. "I'll dig somewhere else." The worm muttered angrily, "Oh, darn kids, they don't know what they're doing," as he wiggled back down into the earth. Roslyn Rutabaga carefully filled the hole back up. Then she started digging in another spot near the fence. She dug and dug and dug. Then a mole appeared, blinking in the light. "Hey, what are you doing in my bedroom?" he grumbled. "I'm digging the biggest hole on Earth," she said. "What on earth for?" asked the mole. "I want to go to the South Pole," said Roslyn, "to meet a penguin or two." "Listen," said the mole. "I dig holes all the time, small ones, big ones. I'm a hole specialist, and I can tell you there are no penguins down there." "That's because he hasn't dug the biggest hole on Earth," thought Roslyn. "You woke me up," added the mole. "Now I'm in a bad mood." "I'm dreadfully sorry," said Roslyn. I'll dig somewhere else." "Penguins," muttered the mole. "What's next, elephants?" He burrowed back into his sandy bed, and in a moment he was snoring. Roslyn sighed. This was not going to be easy. Roslyn Rutabaga decided to dig near the lilac bush. She looked around. No one in sight. She stamped the ground. No angry worm. No grouchy mole. She dug and dug and dug. Soon, all you could see were the tips of Roslyn's ears. "This will be the biggest, most beautiful hole in the world," thought Roslyn. "People will line up to admire it." She dug faster. "Maybe I'll find gold," she thought, "or maybe I'll find clink." "A dinosaur bone!" Roslyn cried. She examined the bone. Roslyn was very excited. She would be famous. "I'm sure this is a Triceratops's big toe bone," she said. "What? It's rot," barked a dog. "I rarried that Rome ras reek. I rotted at the Rogers." Ren I row, he doesn't rel, rhinosaur roans. Roslyn threw the bone up to the dog. Ranks, barked the dog, and rig somewhere else. You're wrecking my roan rubber. That is a lot of bones. Or roans, I guess. Roslyn lay at the bottom of the hole. She sighed heavily. She would never dig the biggest hole on Earth. Ever. Well, oh my, said Rosalind's father. This must be the biggest hole in the universe. Rosalind, are you down there? Yes, whispered Rosalind. I can hardly see you, said the father. You must be hungry. Shall we eat lunch? Okay, answered Rosalind, but bring your sweater. It's really cold at the South Pole. Do you think penguins like carrot sandwiches? Asked Roslyn. I don't know, answered her father. As soon as we see one, we'll ask. Roslyn smiled. She couldn't wait to meet a penguin. Alright. It's a penguin with a carrot sandwich. I wonder how he got there. And that's the end of Roslyn Rutabaga and the biggest hole on Earth.